Yo, four man them in the building. What a time to be alive. So episode 68, I want to say. Correct me if I'm
Episode
wrong.
68.
Yo, we live. We got a special guest in the building. Manny, please introduce yourself.
Oh God, this one there. Oh my God, every time.
It's hard to introduce yourself, you know.
So yeah, my name is Manny, aka TheClassicManny. I am a podcaster, content creator. Some will say influencer, but let me just claim it for 2021. I'll claim it, a personality, as some will say as well, but it's just all under the TheClassicManny brand anyway. So I'm just Manny.
Perfect. I love that. All right, lads, you know what time it is. Introduce yourself.
Yes. Big 2L, aka Don Corleone, aka Cool Con Collected in the building, Colson.
No, that's right.
What's good?
Get them aliases off.
For sure.
And you already know. Go on. Tell them who you are.
Well, Happy New Year, first of all.
Oh, yeah. Wait.
Of course. Because we have one Eman on the group, I'm thinking today. So
no aliases today.
Nah, I'm thinking too.
I hear that.
You know.
Oh, you're the first. Come on, you're the first.
I'll take thing one. Take
it.
Demi, aka Two Dems, aka The Real is Back. You already know what time it is. Made in Chafford podcast, episode 68, with the one and only Manny from the Manny podcast. Wanted to get this guy on for a minute, so I'm glad we was able to get it patterned.
Time, isn't it?
Yeah, we've been chatting in the DM, just trying to get it sorted. So I'm happy. This is it. This is the perfect start to the new year.
Thanks for having me.
And you know what? This could be a long one, because the topics I want to get off my chest.
Whatever. Listen, it was long.
The topics I want to get off my chest, I think, are interesting. Interesting conversations can be had. But the first conversation I want to have is in regards to will.i.am, specifically, and the Black Eyed Peas' legacy. So I think he was talking with Pharrell, and they were just discussing, will.i.am thinks that the Black Eyed Peas should be viewed as a black group that had success and that they should be more appreciated within the black community. And this became more interesting because a lady by the name of Kim Hill, who was formerly in the group before Fergie was the female voice for the group, she came out and she told her whole story, and the Black Eyed Peas went in a different direction because they wanted to be perceived as more mainstream. So I just want to see, how do you feel about that? I guess my first question is, how do you feel about the Black Eyed Peas being viewed as a successful black group?
Who's going first?
Guess first, man. Go for it.
Okay.
Get off your chest.
So first of all, I don't view them as a black group because I think it's only him and one other person that's half black or something. And I think the other two, I think what Fergie's one, of course. He was trying to do blackfishing here and there back in the day, cultural appropriation there. But that's a whole other thing for another day. And I think the other person.
Did anyone think Fergie was black, white, or what?
No, people actually believed it. Not me though. Even though I was younger at the time, I think I was like.
I knew that was a white girl up in the video, man.
I didn't think she was, but I think that whole statement or the whole conversation, it was just so dumb. I watched it 3 times to try to understand his perspective. I didn't get it. I didn't get the perspective. And so I'm like, now if it was him on his own when he went solo, yeah, you're black. There's no kind of black. That's another conversation for another day. But that's a mixed group. It's a mixed group, and I think it started off being like a conscious group, but then it just went mainstream. As Kim Hill said, it went mainstream. Their message just changed completely. I hate when people do this thing where it's for their own convenience, like where you can have the conversation a long time ago, but why are you having the conversation now? Where it's not them, it's not black. It's just not black. Simple and short.
That's a fact. Yeah. Do you know what? The way I feel about it is, I think will.i.am deserves to be celebrated as a very successful black musician.
Absolutely.
Deserves more flowers than I think he gets from the community. I think what he managed to achieve with Black Eyed Peas is astronomical. What he managed to do solo, and then you know what? I always think he's got a good ear because he also managed to, or not a good ear, but he's very good at helping other people. So obviously he had a massive influence in Fergie's solo career. You also look at acts like Cheryl Cole. He also managed to help her and propel her to heights she probably wouldn't have reached. Absolutely. So I think he deserves to be celebrated, but there's no way I'm celebrating the Black Eyed Peas as a black group. No way. No. Not with Fergie all up in the video saying, spending all my money. I mean, come on.
But do you know what though? Do you know what I'd say to that? I think I think there's an argument for it up until a certain point. So when you listen to like Ella Funk and you listen to the album before that, there's still elements of soul, there's still elements of like black music. But when they crossed over to what the end and the beginning, those albums where the lines blurred and it became way more techno poppy.
Yeah.
You can't. There's nothing black about the end. Great album. You
Oh,
know,
amazing album, but very, very,
It's true.
very like, you know.
What the,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's nothing black about Meet Me Halfway.
Yeah,
I love that
100%.
song though. I love that
You
song.
It's an amazing
Same,
song.
same. I love
It's an
that
amazing-
song.
The album is
nothing-
amazing, but they can't.
But
They
ain't nothing
can't.
black about it.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
I think that's where it gets misconstrued. Because I agree. I mean, you look at their first hit. Oh, fuck.
Where is the Love?
Where is the Love? Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. That's very conscious, and I guess that's very in line with what they wanted to achieve. But boy, did they leave that very quickly.
True, you know.
And they knew what they needed to do to have success. And the thing that kind of disappoints me is you look at Kim's story, and they were being told that, you know, in order to have success, they were like, you have to get rid of the female in the group, and, you know, we'll switch it out and we'll give you Fergie. I'm not going to pit women against women because, you know, I think Fergie's talented in her own right. But do you disagree, Manny?
That one that's always screaming.
Nah, I think Fergie's talented.
You know what? She gave us the album. Her Duchess was amazing. That was a great album. But live,
okay, I hear that.
Oh,
Do you know what? She's got no one to blame but herself. Because when she did the national anthem, she was looking crazy.
If I rephrase right now, I'm gonna break everyone's ears here.
Nah, my ears are
well, like,
bleeding.
The
Nah,
NBA
it's when you
players'
just-
reactions are just so funny, man.
Nah,
you know when you add too much sauce, like, you know when you have fries, yeah,
Mhm.
and there's just an amount of right sauce. You
Hear
know what I'm
that.
saying? And then when you just drench it in sauce and the chips become wet, you get what I'm saying?
That's
So that's
trying
what
to
she
do
did
both.
when she tried
Yo.
the national anthem. But
I'll
in
send
terms of like my opinion, in terms of like, are they considered a black? Yes, they are. Right. The reason why I say that.
I'll let you off.
The reason why I say that is because I know of some people in the industry who don't necessarily, they make music not necessarily targeted towards the black, Afro-Caribbean, African community. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They target specifically the white audience, and they're very successful. I'm not going to mention a name now because, like, I want them to come and back their reasons of why they do that. But I know people who actually produce, and I know people who actually sing in those sort of segments. But then are you going to turn around and say they're making white music? They're successful in their field currently at the moment, but you can't then turn around and say, oh yeah, they're making white music. For example, let's take Lil Jon. He's out in every festival with dubstep, just every festival doing that. Like, he's moved away from hip hop. And but the thing is, he is monumental. Like, he is actually a legend in the game.
I agree. The Lil Jon might not be the right example, and I say that because Lil Jon made music for black people. You know, he did. These man, obviously, they made the conscious decision to say, hey, yo, that stuff ain't working at the moment. We're not making peace from it. Completely understand. And that's not the first time a black artist has been forced to jeopardize their sound in order for success. Like, completely get it. But then you can't make that sound and then say, oh, now I want to be recognized by black people. It's not happening. And even to that point, one of the people in the band is Filipino, and then there's a white lady, 2 black people. It's not a black band. As I end up saying, oh, you know what? We wish we were respected more within the black community. I tell them to fuck off, because what? Fraser's the only black person in the band. You got Talisa and Dappy, who are Greek.
I agree.
That one's a controversial one, Steve.
I can't back you on that one. Because the thing is, N-Dubz was respected by the black community. Of course, they had their fame.
But they weren't black, though. They were respected, but they weren't black. I think only Fraser.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's only Fraser, but I think Talisa and are they Congolese too? Are they Congolese?
But I think the point I'm trying to make, when it comes to the N-Dubz example, is more if you don't get, okay, they are respected, but if you want to be viewed, I think will.i.am now wants to come out and be like, I deserve this sort of respect. If for whatever reason N-Dubs came out and said, oh, we deserve that sort of respect, and black people said, no, we're not giving it, I'd understand. They've got the respect, so maybe in the terms of that, they don't have to fight for that. But will.i.am now coming out years later after the band has had all the success and now saying, I think we should be respected in the black community. If someone says, no, I'm not hearing that, I understand.
Yeah. It's almost like Bruno Mars as well should be classified as black because he makes R&B music. I think he is not black, so we'll just put him in this category. His life starts to get blurred, you know. So I think it's better to put people where they need to.
Where is he catfish?
I
think he's Puerto Rican.
Wait, let me go look at my Googles. Let me go and see.
Nah. Ain't he Hawaiian or something like
that? Yeah,
Hawaiian.
Let me check.
No,
I could be wrong.
Yeah, his name is Peter Janae Hernandez. Or Gene, I think he said Gene or Queen. I don't know. But his name is Hernandez,
These people, they get away like.
Oh yeah, no, he is Hawaiian.
Yeah, he's Hawaiian, yeah.
What, fully Hawaiian?
Yeah.
You're not even an ounce of black.
he's robbed a living. But I don't know if people think he's black.
People thought he was black until like earlier, like in recent years. I think people are starting to like be more open about like. I think when he started to win BET awards, people are starting to say, "Okay, is he black? Should he really be in this kind of spaces where he?"
Yikes!
What's
Bruno Mars doing at the BET awards?
Listen, can you imagine?
I like the Bruno Mars songs. What the fuck is he doing?
That Kanye West clip is hilarious.
That's screaming.
That's how I feel.
I'm screaming, man. I love
conversation. But then even the fact that they didn't protect Sis more, you know, with Kim Hill, and then man just took the record deal.
Imagine.
And obviously, I think from her stance, she wasn't really willing to bend on her stance, and she felt like this should be a group that discussed blackness and black issues. She weren't really willing to bend on that. So I think I kind of wish, you know, she'd been protected a bit more as well.
Absolutely.
It's just, I guess, it's a bit of a shame. I'm gonna give will.i.am himself the flowers that he deserves. Again, he's made countless bangers. Black Eyed Peas always have a special place in my heart for what they did on Boom Boom Pow.
Yeah.
But do I see them as a black group? I'm gonna have to say no.
No.
I guess that's a good way to end that conversation. Everyone say how they feel? Do they see Black Eyed Peas as a black group?
Nope.
That's a no for Manny.
I'm gonna say no, but I'm not mad if someone believes they are, you know.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. I can come and kill myself, Sha.
Eman, what are you saying?
Would it be safe to say that they're part of the Bammy group?
What's the Bammy?
The BAME!
Man said the Bammy.
The
Bammy. When Eman said that,
I know it's BAME, but Bammy. I ain't part of Bammy.
Do you know what? I'm gonna give it to him.
You know what?
The way you look at it is, can they go to the BET Awards?
Oh Lord, let me see. Did they win any BET Awards? Let me actually check.
Probably for best new hip hop group. They never made hip hop a day in their life.
It's something like, is it Vanilla Ice and be nominated for a Soul Train Award? I said, what? Vanilla Ice and Soul Train together?
I was
so terrible. That's just clout chasing.
Nah, I feel like these award shows there, they lose integrity sometimes. Let me see.
For real.
Let me see if they got any
Lost
awards.
all integrity, in my opinion.
They actually got BET Awards. They actually won an award in 2006.
Jeez. What was it for?
Soul Group?
For group, yeah.
06, okay. If it wasn't a tens, I'll be looking at it sideways, but 06, I can allow it just about.
Yeah.
What were they making then? That
was as nominee, but they didn't get an award. Good, thank God.
That must have been when they just came out, though. To be fair, because I think they came out in 2005.
What, when they did the rebrand?
Yeah. Whereas I want to say Where's the Love came out in 2005.
Maybe even earlier. I feel like that song.
2006 when they came up with the Brazilian remix.
Oh, might have been, you know. When they're all up in there. Jacob Benita and that.
Yeah.
Gosh, that was a time to be alive.
That man been culture vulturing from early, yeah.
Yo, you have to respect it.
The song slapped though. I ain't gonna hold you.
In terms of like,
they ain't ever been to Brazil.
In terms of like the genre, You know what? The best place to start on whether they are a black group or not is to actually define them by the genre. So would you say that they're techno? Would you say that they're soul? What would you
That's a
say?
good
Or would
question.
they just say they're
I
a
think they'll be
great
most
branch?
remembered for the
Yeah,
techno
popular.
music they made.
I don't know. Maybe pop.
It's hard.
Yeah, pop,
It's
pop,
probably
pop,
pop is the easiest.
Definitely pop.
one of
But
them.
even 2006, it wasn't that My Hump, Pump It.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's where.
Jeez, yo, these men have been about for a while.
They've been here for time. Because I know I was in thinking primary school, but I was secondary school at that time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
That was My Hump's time, definitely. That was a banger too.
Yeah,
That's
my humps.
that's a
They're legends,
banger.
man. They're
Hey,
legends.
yo, put some respect on the name. That My Humps
And then
was
mixed
dumb crazy.
I remember that video,
about our
man.
space. Once they're going to be accepted in other spaces too. Like, they're going to be accepted in the MTVs or that kind of stuff. Space for the black groups, man. Because we're overlooked in the white spaces. So why are they going to try and come to our space and take over our space? You know?
I hear that.
Not wrong.
That's a fact. Okay. Well, I guess that concludes that topic. Can someone do me a favor?
No. Hold on. I can't let this run. Because, but then that would be something similar with Rihanna. She started off with like, and then she went straight to pop like immediately. But then you can't. Yes, of course she's black. But then again, you can't. It's exactly the same thing.
Context is everything, though.
That's the issue. She's one single person. That's a group. Another group that's mixed. It's like Little Mix. A Little Mix. I can't put them as black. They can never be black. Leanne is half. Leanne is half Israel. Who else is half? I think Jade is half. Then Perry and the other one, the one that just left, Jessie that left, she's their wife as well. So they'll never be black.
Yeah, but I think Rihanna's you have to consider context. Rihanna's not come out and said, "Can you guys all view me as a black artist?" We already know she's a black artist. She's made.
Yeah, we know she's a black artist, but in terms of the concepts of genres,
but she
went from
one genre.
Specifically, I would say, I hate to use this word, but the urban sort of culture. She went from that to then pop. Do you know what I'm saying? Of course, what did she do that for? To get recognition and peas.
I hear what you're saying.
She was under Jay-Z's label.
I hear what you're saying, but Rihanna's not now come out and said, "Please recognize me as a black artist." We're having this conversation now because will.i.am went on Pharrell's podcast and said, "Yo, what we did under under Black Eyed Peas was great, and we should be recognized as a black group." Rihanna's not had to say that because Rihanna knows already that she's pattern, that we view her as a black woman, we view her as a black artist. He's gone on. He's had to say that because he knows that certain people won't perceive what Black Eyed Peas did as as a black success.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my stance.
You don't understand as well. Can you imagine? What's the bad boys,
Yo, Rihanna's screenshot was crazy. My girl was singing Under My Umbrella, like, yo.
But she still has her R&B and her reggae, even in her other projects. It's not album. And Auntie as well is quite experimental as well. So I'll definitely, she still has her roots in the deep cuts, but maybe for the singles, like it's mainly
But you know what she had to do?
Yeah.
I think that happens. But yeah, that was an interesting conversation. Moving on. I didn't really know this was like a real topic to be discussed until shouts out to Mose. We went on her podcast and had a great conversation, and we spoke about UK R&B, which I didn't know that people are really clamoring for more of it. And obviously we all know what happened with LMA, and you know, her situation obviously didn't quite work out for her in the UK, so she opted to go to America, and things, you know, the rest is history. We've got great artists. I know you spoke, Manny, you spoke to Bella.
I love her.
Collins, you put Scribs Riley in recently into the playlist. He's UK R&B.
Yeah.
Where do we think it's at the moment? And does it still need to be propelled more?
Should I go first?
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it, man.
I think it's in a good place. Look, even on Clubhouse, you will see there's a room every single day about UK R&B, UK R&B, UK R&B. Like, I think it's the thing where they're talking about the same thing over and over again, but I just love how we've got a space now where we can talk about where it is now, where we can go. So right now, it's in a good place. I think it's all about just finding it and them being given a voice and being pushed, you know, because as I said, Bella, Manelia, there's just so many amazing artists out there, both men and women. I don't say men and female, but men and women that are just killing the game right now, where It needs to be pushed more. As the Bella, amazing EP, the Our Conversation. That one is pure R&B. That one is not diluted. It's in the soul. It's right there.
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely it's alive and well. And I think it's only gonna get better.
Yeah. Okay, so my question to you is: so it's in a good place, but we know it could go further. What does it need to do in order to take those next steps?
I think the label just pushing them. Like I feel like they always put at the back burner as well. Like for example, LMA, as you said, had a great push for Buddha. I hear that song Buddha. But I think even the recent new song that came out last year, Not Another Love Song, that deserved the Buddha push. That's a proper R&B song.
Yeah.
Amazing live every single time. But I think because it's not pop influence or kind of pop infused, they're not giving that same push as Buddha. Like, I don't like Buddha at all. It annoys me so much.
Do you know what? I think it was just overplayed. I mean, obviously it was massive, so I get that, but my God, was it overplayed. Lads, how do you feel?
I think one of the things that is an issue with like UK R&B or R&B even in general is like sometimes I think the way the songs are made, it makes it really hard for them to reach the mainstream. If that makes sense. So like the songs, like you say, Booed Up, it's not only is it a very easy song to sing along to, but it's also very smartly made. Whereas it's not a complex song. Whereas you hear like certain songs I think should bang, but you can just tell it's almost missing that little bit of like TikTok-y or easy digestibility to it that doesn't allow it to do that. I was listening to Something You Like by Bella literally earlier today. And like that's such a sick R&B song to me. But then it makes you think if she dumbs it down even more, it loses essence, doesn't it? But I don't know if I don't want to put this message out there, but I don't know if R&B artists should like dumb down their music more in order to gain that recognition. Because that's the only way.
Make it more catchy.
Yeah.
More catchy at least. Like, oh God, that's so it's catchy.
But it's a perfect example.
It done the job.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree with that.
I hear that. That's an interesting take. I guess that's the literal. They're both in the same wheelhouse, but hip hop and R&B. But hip hop's got that catchiness and that vibe that it can, and it's sing along to. Even if you can't sing, you can sing to a hip hop song. I think people appreciate that. But part of the joy of, say, a really good R&B song is someone who can really sing and is hitting them notes. And, if that can't be replicated, it's kind of hard to feel like you can enjoy it or sing along to it. And that might be why it can't be made into a TikTok or it can't be made into a popular dance. And maybe that's the next step. And you don't want to put out the message of dumbing down your music, because I think when you do that, it stops being R&B, and then I think it starts to feel more like pop, which should be the difference. But it's
that as well.
It's a fine line to walk, really, and they all have to find the right line to walk, really.
It is. It's I think this is mainly not to do with the music itself, but the industry and how they view demographics. So, I mean, the amount of Black people in the United States that might gravitate towards the R&B genre, which is started off as a Black genre itself. You're more geared to blow. I mean, they'll probably work it out and try and push that machine in the United States rather than the United Kingdom itself. Right now, you look at what's happening in the UK. Do we have that many R&B artists in the UK currently at the moment? No. How many in the United States? Loads. And that might just be because of how many people are in the United States and how they can sell and make the most money. So I think when it comes down to it, it's about the money. It's about the moolah. So, I think if you want to blow, then try your very best to blow in the United States, and it will just come straight to the United Kingdom, because the United States are trendsetters. Everybody today sounds like Lil Durk. Like not to, I mean, even though that's far away from R&B, but a lot of people look at what's going on there. I mean, we even had a resurgence of drill because of individuals in the United States popping up again. So I'm not saying that the United Kingdom doesn't have drill artists. We all have drill artists. But as soon as a trend is set in the United States, it's now projected onto the United Kingdom. And I think that's what really is the underlying issue. So if you really want to bang, go United States. I know they're going to push you in a different way, in a different dimension, but it depends how successful you want to be with your art and your craft. So
yeah, see, I hear that, but that's kind of painful that that's a reality.
Very painful, but it's the truth.
It is the hard. It might be the hard truth, because the one example is LMA, and we know how her story goes. And she opted to go to the US, so much so that if you didn't see her progression in the UK, you would have thought she was an American artist. I think that's something I'm quite conscious of, is I don't want these guys to do UK R&B and have to feel like they need to change their sound, or not change their sound, but you have to go to America in order to do it, because our own genres had that view for time. Grime, even UK rapping, that you had to try and blow or get some form of recognition or a co-sign from an American in order to have success. But I wouldn't want that for them. And I also get what you're saying. If it don't make money, it don't make sense. So I think labels might be looking at UK R&B at the moment and seeing it might not be that viable. But I think if they gave them the push that they need, they could see some benefits from it. But I get why labels might not be willing to push them, because it's not making the peas that other genres are.
Yeah. Do you guys think it's also a issue with our culture? Because when you think about it, like even Manny, like think about it, because people in the UK, we like to push this. We like grime, we like drill, we like that type of, and that's really now spilled into the mainstream. You see these kids like H, you see these kids like Stormzy, etc., etc. But we don't necessarily have those figureheads in R&B. Now, if you look in America, the R&B has always been a staple in their culture. Like there are people who ride to this day for 90s R&B, but we don't necessarily have that type of want in this country. Or maybe it's at the beginning of doing that, but I don't feel like there's the same kind of culture here. If that makes sense.
I think ours is house, garage. That's what it is.
I think pop as well, because we talk about Britpop to this day.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Britpop song to this day, we're still talking about. I think R&B. I don't think that's what we started to love or as much back in the day. Because as I said in my last episode, I grew up with pop. I didn't grow up with R&B until like my teen years. I had to go and actively search for myself how like what that kind of artist would form currently and after, because all that kind of stuff. And then my second point is, I think support here in this country is a little bit. I think in America they have the stands, and the stands are gonna ride out. Even like someone who just started a few years ago, that one video that went viral, and then maybe she might have problematic moments now, but during the first album, the EP times, she had that support and that kind of stuff. Once here, I think supporting someone might feel like you're a beg. Well, you're not a beg to support me. I want to support my chest, but not everyone has that energy to support. I hear that. It's on the low.
See, that's also interesting, I guess, is because that was my question when we went to visit Mose as well. Just like, I mean, there's dope artists that are doing UK R&B, but I guess it's that question: is there the supply and demand for it? Is there enough people who will enjoy the genre? And I guess it's interesting because it's not ingrained in British music or in the history of British music. Like now, I feel like certain genres like grime, maybe soon drill will be as well, that will become one of the things that you view as British music. But I don't think R&B has ever been viewed as that. And then when something sounds like it's an R&B song and it's been created in the UK, it kind of just feels like it just gets passed off as to, that was a pop success, so that was something good that happened in pop. Whereas I think maybe, you know what, artists like Bella, I think especially because she's the one that's really being championed at the moment, she could turn the tide. I think it does feel like times are changing.
I'm praying so, because
she's super talented.
She works really hard as well.
And I think that's the most important thing. Like, it's all right, people who are okay just doing it, but if we're going to champion someone, they need to be good. And, I'll give Bella all the praises. Well, because I just found her accidentally. And I was like, yo, this is impressive. And then her EP came out. I was like, yeah, she's got a fan in me. But I think that's maybe, it just takes one person. And the tide could definitely change. I think we've all raised reasons to why it hasn't worked, why it might not necessarily be working. But I think we're all confident that at the end of the day, it could end up working. because there's enough people trying to break down the barriers.
Right.
I think that's all that has to happen.
Right.
If enough people break down the barriers and they see, these people actually want this, then that's where we'll go from there.
I think having a team is very important as well. Because as I said, going back to Bella again, I think it's a thing where I got to see her team when she was doing the recording for her pretty little thing, deal that she was doing. I was like, having a team like that can encourage you. She said as well on the podcast as well, like having a team that can encourage you when, because I think the issue here is that our art is not like to take criticism or feedback. Is the thing where it's like, I'm perfect, I'm this, I'm that. No one's perfect. You should be willing to take criticism. You might have to go into times where you might have to infuse other genres. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing R&B, but also infusing other genres to get a wider audience, as long as you're staying true to who you are in the core of it all. So I think the thing where it's just about being experimental, having fun, and having a good team that will actually encourage you to be your best and do your best. Not the yes men of it all. I don't like yes men in my own personal life anyway.
Yeah, I hear that.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
You have yes men in your circle. That's how you end up with albums like Chance the Rapper's one.
This is what I'm gonna go back.
That album was terrible. Any chance I get, I'm gonna let the listeners know.
A hot mess.
From start to finish. All right, so we're still in the middle of this panoramic, this Potter. But I still wanted to just get our predictions. New Year, Happy New Year, and that, as Emmanuel said at the start of the podcast. What are our predictions for music in 2021? What are some of the things that we think might happen? Do we think live shows might make a return? Do you think we might see festivals? Will albums be delayed because people don't want to be outside? Obviously, I think Cardi was meant to drop months ago. Still no album. I've said I think Drake should hold off. He's meant to drop this month, but I think he should wait till the summer.
Yeah.
So yeah, just interested to get people's opinions. Eman, I'm gonna start with you because you're giving confusion eyes.
Well, I was gonna say, firstly, I was gonna say, I think what's gonna happen is virtual tours, where people are just gonna do virtual tours the same way like you see on the NBA, the same way you see on some TV shows where they just have a live audience, but they're just in the comfort of their own home.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that's what's going to be a thing. Maybe they might charge them like a quick, like just like a small £10, and you can sell it to the masses. If it's successful, then great. If it's not, and it's not really the same sort of vibe, it's not really the same sort of energy that you feel, whatever. In terms of albums, Cardi B, she is a high energy individual.
Yeah.
So you're looking at April, May times. Drake, I think it's important that Drake drops another tape again.
100%. I think he'll drop this year.
Like soon. Because the thing is, people are home, people are not doing too much, it's cold outside. People just need something to vibe to. Do you get what I'm saying? So
I get that take. I actually get that take, actually. I get that.
Yeah, so I think he does need to drop, but I think it's just like a small EP, like a 3-song, and then just drop that, and then wait for the album to drop. So I do understand where Demi's coming from in terms of the summertime, but you know, depends on when we all get outside. So,
Manny, I'm interested to hear your opinion on this. What are you saying for 2021 in music?
In terms of live shows, maybe more intimate. I don't think we can go back to like the big stadium.
Nah, stadiums are done out here.
But definitely, I feel like it'll be good to have like intimate shows, smaller shows, all that kind of stuff. In terms of project, I just hope it gets better because I feel like the quality of music last year overall was a little bit. If you look at Megan, for example, Megan's album, I think it was rushed. It was so rushed. I not even the debut album that actually makes me sad because there's other debuts that have been much better. Even Cardi, who is not really a rap person that's really writing her bars like word for word, bar for bar, she gave us a good fun. I was going to say pop, but it's not pop. I was going to give us a fun debut album that I would say can be remembered for a long time. But with Megan, I've even forgotten half the album already. You know, so I hope that artists take their time this year and give us quality albums, and whether it's debut, sophomore, whatever it's going to be. Quality. What else? I think R&B UK can finally have its time because there's been so many conversations, as I said. Hopefully, all the words now turn to action and they can be pushed more signings, all that kind of thing. We've got like a black, is it Universal UK or something?
Was it Def Jam that?
Right.
So I think that's a space. Yeah, definitely.
That art is being pushed in that way.
I think that, and I'm interested to see what they do because obviously they signed the agreement that they signed Stormzy, which was a massive get for them. So I think, that's a space and that's an environment that I'm interested to see what they do going forward as well. I agree with you. I think more intimate shows. I think people need to be careful when they drop as well. Certain artists, I think, can drop in the top half of the year while we're still at home. That's no problem. But I think, interestingly, I think some artists need to just wait, and there's no harm in waiting. Don't rush yourself, because I can't listen. After what I heard from Playboi Carti on Christmas Day, I'm not doing that again. Not putting myself through it. So I need high quality albums, man.
How was the album? I don't listen to that. I don't know my kind of artist.
Nah, it was terrible. I like him as well. Like, I think Playboi Carti self-titled is a good project. Dialect grew on me, but my God, that whole lot of red was a whole lot of trash, man.
A whole lot of trash.
Listen to this album.
That's the name of the
Recycle bin
episode,
classic.
man. That's the name of the episode.
Man.
A whole lot of trash.
I hope it goes triple aluminium, man. It was bad.
Yo.
And do you know what? I feel like he literally recorded it in 5 days. I promise you. People. I feel like people who sent in verses kind of had this horrible line. You're always looking for Buddha. You're a Budapest. I said, yo.
Not
Kanye. Not Kanye.
I'm glad I didn't sit through this album. I'm so glad.
It's a piece sometimes. Particularly when it comes to certain projects. No one's just saying bye.
It's just not worth it.
100%. I think I got 12 songs in. It's a 24-track album. I said my ears are bleeding. It's time. The turkey's almost ready.
24.
God,
3-minute songs.
I think the album's like an hour and I can't remember.
I don't believe these.
It was a bad album, man. No, I don't know if it's one of the worst albums I've ever listened to, but it was terrible. There's no other way to put it.
Songs. 1 hour, 3 minutes. Oh, that's torture.
That's just too.
Nah,
I don't
control just vibes.
Nah, honestly, I don't know what he was doing. And his music isn't lyrical, or it's turn up music, which is completely fine. I think there's some great artists that will go down as hip hop and rap legends, or just legends in general, who do turn up music.
Baby father.
Yeah, he's baby daddy. He slipped up.
All the controversy on that, isn't there?
For real.
That makes sense.
Yo, Iggy, if you're looking.
Man said Iggy, if you're looking.
She should just stop music and just become a model, honestly.
Nah, he's a baddie still. He should definitely go into modeling. Go into modeling. I endorse that. I support it.
But yeah, I don't know. Predictions for this year. Cole, you got any?
I'm gonna say something bold and say this will be the best year for music in a long time.
Whoa. Okay, what makes you feel that way?
Because there's so many heavy hitters that haven't dropped in a long time. So,
and you think the label's gonna say you got to drop this year?
Not necessarily have to, because a lot of these people, they don't even need to. Do you know what I mean? But I do think that, you know, with the way the world is and the way last year was set up, hence, you know, summertime, we got a bit of freedom. If this year's patterned anyway similar to last year, I think there's going to be a lot of big artists. So I think Adele will drop. I think Beyonce will drop. I think Drake obviously is going to drop. Kendrick will drop. J. Cole will drop. I just think a lot of big artists are going to drop this year. I have that feeling.
Yeah.
Yo, Cole saying we're eating.
I'm going to go on a limb because I just think there was too many albums that were supposed to come out last year that just didn't. You know what I mean? So you saw the little like promo that Adele did, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm pushing it to 2021. Same with Drake, 2021. Kendrick was literally about to drop.
Yeah.
And also, like, there's a lot of time to reflect upon what was last year. And there's a lot of time this year to get lit. So
it'll be the best. It'll be the best run of music since 2016, 2015. I'm calling it now.
Eman.
Sorry about that.
Eman, you good?
I thought he was so excited about that news. He was like, yo.
I don't know what happened, but
Colin's got the inside
excitement, isn't it?
That's my biggest fear. That's my biggest fear.
You know, one thing I don't want for music this year is I just don't hope. I hope a lot of artists don't make coronavirus bars.
Oh yeah, I want to forget about that years from now.
Fact, I don't want to hear. I'm sick with the flu. I'm sick like the flu. My boy's got the mask on and he ain't talking about COVID. I don't want none of that in my raps.
You know, Fabulous got 10 in the tuck already.
But you know, what's it? Conway the Machine on King Talk God, he said a bar and it was immaculate. It was like, it's along the lines of this, yeah, like your boy got to put on gloves and mask on, not because there's coronavirus, but you got to make sure this pack is gone. Like, the way he did it, it was amazing. So, yes, some bars can actually slap, and there are some exceptions to the rule.
Because it's not in our face, like it's corona.
That's all I'm saying. I just don't. And if it's not done well, because I've heard some and they've been done poorly. Like there was no setup. You're just trying to talk about COVID because it's hot. Like, nah, come on.
Trying to please
I want to add that I think last year was good for artists on the rise. But I'm looking at my list right now, like Tamira. I think they played her song on No Signals. I thought about her. Manelia, Sayen, and Free Runway as well. That was really good for her that year as well. Bella, even Chloe X Halle, that was my favorite from last year. On the Rise, obviously Beyonce as backing them, all that kind of stuff. So I think it was a good year for on the rise artists. I think this year definitely for the mainstream artists. I agree with what Eman was saying.
Man. If they let us outside, we could be enjoying, man.
Enjoyment.
DJs, get ready. Don't want to. Artists, get ready. DJs, get ready. I don't want to hear no bad spinning if I get in a club or if I get in a bar.
Yeah, I agree with
that fire. But it does sound like we could be in for an exciting year. Definitely. I think everyone's a bit walking on their tiptoes a bit around, being like, "Oh, it could be amazing." But I'm excited and hopeful, is what I'd say, for good music this year. We've got to say that because we're a music podcast. So yeah, good music is good for us. Good music is good for business, as I'd say.
For sure.
Okay, so this is a topic we've not really discussed before, but I'm interested to get people's opinions on it. So I want to know, for you, man, who are your favorite pop stars? And when I say pop stars, I don't mean rappers that happen to be pop stars like Drake. I'm talking like, in that realm, like Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, Lady Gaga, I guess you could say Taylor Swift. I'll kickstart it, I already know. What, Manny, is Taylor Swift not pop?
She's a guilty pleasure. But I don't know if she's my favorite pop, She's not mine.
I'm just naming names, just to give examples. Sure. Mine at the moment is between Ariana Grande and Dua Lipa. Dua Lipa's Future Nostalgia was a fire album, like from top to bottom. If I get I enjoyed that album so much. If I got the chance to see her live, I would. And I think Ariana Grande has been making great music for, I'd say, the last 6 years since Dangerous Woman.
Good taste. Wow.
Dangerous. I wasn't crazy about Positions, the most recent release, but yeah, I think she's been making dope music. And that breakup with your boyfriend was the peak of her powers. That song was
cold.
Listen, that beat.
I've got taste, man. Oh, I'm happy to be here.
Welcome, brother. Welcome.
That beat went crazy.
That song is cold.
She's been going hard, so I have to give her flowers. I think those two for me are my real standouts. But any chance I get to give Dua Lipa the recognition she deserves. I personally feel at one point she had one of the best songs around with New Rules. When she released that, I said, "Yo, this is pop perfection. Whatever you managed to do here is brilliant." And that, to me, it makes sense that video's got 1 billion views on YouTube. Wow. Like what she's managed to do, she's gone clear. Amazing. What about you, man? Because I feel like I've just given these two girls all the praise in the world.
Go on, Manny. Start off proceedings.
Okay, so my classic fave for sure, Britney Spears. That's my pop princess right there. Oh my god. Now, I can't believe a white woman will have me say I'm a slave for you. I'm like, wow. A white woman can sing this song right now, but you know what?
I'm finished.
I feel like for the next season, I think. Literally, perfection. I feel like she's been so consistent with it from when she started till now. I love her. I love that you mentioned Ariana Grande as well. I was watching her Excuse Me, I Love You tour on Netflix. Oh, the perfection. Like, she's from Tattooed Heart, which is from her first or second album. They also performed songs from her album before Positions, but that was before Positions came out. I agree with your positions. Actually, it grew on me, but I've had your thoughts when I listened to the first time. I think I listened when it leaked, and I was like, I don't know about this album, but I think I listened to it more and more.
You know what the thing is with her? I think if the I don't want to say, because this is the first time I've not liked the first single that she's released. Like I've never gone out of my way to listen to Ariana Grande, but I always end up listening to her album and liking one of her singles or two of her singles. So I remember, what's that song with? It was a song with Iggy Azalea that she had back in 2016. Problems. Came on the radio. I said, "Yo, who is this?" I was like, "It's Ariana Grande." I said, "No, not that girl from Nickelodeon." But it slapped, and I listened to the album it came from. It was a good album. Dangerous Woman had Side to Side, which probably isn't a song I would like, but I enjoyed it. So yeah, I get it. If the single don't bang with her, for me, I don't connect. And Positions just weren't a good song to me.
I think it's better on the album than it is as a single. Especially as the first one, it was a big mistake. I think the Doja Cat one should have been the first single, but I think they made a big mistake by making Positions the actual first single as well. But Dua Lipa 2, that era was just perfection. Just how her look, the sound, how it was just cohesive. I agree with you as well, Debbie. That was a very good era from Dua Lipa 2. Yeah, I agree with that.
Perfect. All right, lads, what are you saying?
I am a Justin Timberlake stan up until a certain point, obviously.
Till he got lost in the woods.
Until man went to the woods and lost his black card. I was a Justin
black card
Timberlake.
Declined.
Fam. But
no invites to the cookouts.
no invitation. It's been revoked. When you look at what he did, up until I guess even until 2020 actually, but specifically Justified and Future Sex Love Sounds is actually a cheat code. Like he works with flipping Neptunes and Timberland. That is an absolute cheat code. Yeah, listen back to Future Sex Love Sounds, I don't think there's a skip on there. I'm not even going to hold you. There's not a skip on that album. And I think, obviously, you can debate there's elements of R&B, which is rightfully so, but it's predominantly pop to me. And I feel like the music he made at that point in time is just literally timeless. Like, I can't credit him above that. I think, like, modern day, I listen to less pop, as you know, but I do dabble at times. I'm a big fan of The Weeknd.
I guess that boy is pop.
And I think the good thing about him and After Hours is he finally found the right balance. Yeah, because I felt like the first two albums were very poppy, but not enough of a throwback to what he's good at doing. And the thing is, there's good songs on there. Don't get me wrong, there are really good songs on there. But I just felt like After Hours was like the perfect blend of the two.
And I'd say in terms of like stuff, I didn't personally like Kissland.
I love Kissland, but that's another story for another day. Go on.
And then what was I always forget the album after Kissland, and I like that album a lot.
Behind the
I think he did his thing on there, but I get it. I think you can't escape how poppy I Can't Feel My Face was. And I like Starboy. My biggest problem with it was too long.
How long was it? Let me go look again.
It's 18 songs long, and I want to say it's over an hour.
I mean, the single was super cold, obviously. Daft Punk and their influence, and there's some good album content on there. But
But yeah, I agree. I think After Hours, as a person who's a massive fan of what he did on the trilogy, and I think most people's introduction to him, I feel like that was
perfect blend.
It was that After Hours was what everyone had been looking for a long time, and he really managed to do it. I mean, you can't escape Blinding Lights or In Your Eyes. So he's done both sides. It's perfect to me. Eman, what about you?
Pretty much on the same thing as Collins. Justin Timberlake. Don't want to really reiterate it, but pretty much Justin Timberlake. And then for today, would you say that Harry Styles is pop?
You know what?
Absolutely.
Eman, I have to clap you to that.
Oh, this is the right group
album. Fine line.
Taste, all of you. God.
Fine line, the album. Listen, you know what I always say? Artists have one moment in their life, like where they have to perform. this song has to bang. And Watermelon Sugar, Harry went into the studio that day and said, listen, I need the song, I need it. And he came out with that. That song's a different kind of slap, man. I even be like entertaining. I don't even think normally I'd like that sort of song, but I guess it's just it is perfect, man.
Yeah, it was the same situation for me. I listened to the album, I was like,
Same.
this album is a bit of me. Like it's not my regular listen, but it's just like that album was a bit of me still. So so Harry Styles, I think today will probably be who I would like. Stan over, not too sure, but like definitely.
Absolutely.
Facts, yeah. After that album, I said, Harry's got a fan in me. Even, you know what? I don't necessarily like his music, but I love his antics and what he gives us every now and then. Liam Payne is another one.
This is what you lost me. This is what you lost me.
I knew he was gonna say it. I just knew it.
Liam Payne, not sure something daddy.
Oh no, strip that down.
Strip that down is cold. I'm sorry, strip that down is so cold.
Real tears, that boy. Nah, that boy is different. He's another one. He said, yo, they're gonna give me a Quavo.
Yeah, you can tell.
He wanted to be Justin Timberlake. He was with Justin Timberlake so bad.
Yeah, 100. Even from the album cover of his latest album, it's literally cut for cut. I think it's a copy of Justin's first album. It didn't work out, but even still, I'm gonna give credit where credit is due.
You know, at one time, I thought Liam Payne had rebranded himself and became J Balvin. Like honestly, because I thought they looked exactly alike. They looked exactly alike, and I thought, wait, isn't this just Liam Payne from X Factor thing? Like, is this the same guy? Wow. But then they're two different people.
Do you know what's even funny is the fact that I think they've got a song together that's quite popular. So
oh really?
That's hilarious.
Mad.
But yeah, but I think it's interesting. I just want, because obviously I've never spoken to Collins and Emmanuel about their favorite pop choices. And it's interesting to get your opinion on it, Manny, as well. But yeah, I think pop's an interesting genre because I don't think it's something we all necessarily gravitate towards just naturally, but it's definitely something that where it's always on the radio, or sometimes it's just inescapable that, you know, there'll be a song or an artist that catches your eye, and then, you know, that way you begin to build, I don't want to say you begin to build a listening for them, or you start looking out for their other stuff.
Like retail, oh my goodness.
Yeah, exactly.
So many songs they might not even know outside of retail, so I definitely agree with that.
God, no, do you know what? Because at work they used to have the radio all the time, and it just be capital. My God, that's where you'll find the stuff, man. Because them man don't play. It's like they've got 5 songs to put in rotation over the next hour, and that's it. That's your whole life.
They just stuck on it. I love how Collins also put The Weeknd under the right category, because I hate that they put After Hours in R&B. I said, what?
It's not
R&B. Well, After Hours, not even Starboy, but After Hours. I love that Collins.
I think The Weeknd's an interesting one, because I think even he'd say, "Nah, I make pop music." Like he wants to make pop music. He wants to be recognized as just broadening the genre. I'd say, like, for lack of a better word, he makes dark pop, and he's made dark pop very well. So
he honed in on that, because at the beginning there were definitely elements of R&B. Like he definitely, the trilogy definitely like straddled the border, but I think since then he's not really actually made out on R&B. So if anyone calling him an R&B act is
even the industry. I'm like, you like knowledge. You see the industry itself, like that's my.
The industry been lacking knowledge, man. After the Grammys didn't nominate him for nothing.
Yeah, that's what I know. That was the whole like industry politics. So I was like, Jesus Christ.
Now there's industry politics, and then they're just looking dumb, because that to me that looks like the Grammy doesn't listen. Happened over the last year. Like, put your ego aside and recognize the year he's had. You can't not. It's ridiculous to me. That was and after that, I think a lot of artists now will look at the Grammys differently, and hopefully, I don't know if they'll come together and make their own thing, or, you know, but I think they
But we
have
have
to.
our own though. We have our own, but is it valued as much? I remember I saw Remy Ma's speech go viral again a few weeks ago. Someone was like, "Why is she so excited for a BET award?" Well, this time she's a black artist. She's a black rapper. Nick had won it back to back for 5 years or something. So of course she'll be happy. That was her nemesis at the time too. So literally, so we have to value our own as well. I've got BET.
I think that's important as well. I agree.
Yeah.
Can someone remind me what the final topic is?
The final
Actually, no.
topic.
You know what? Let's do a quick subtopic here. What was your favorite song in retail?
Oh, I've got a whole playlist.
A whole.
I was Shazam like Shazam man. Let me get my Shazam playlist real quick. Hold up.
Oh gosh.
My favorite song in retail was Disclosure Latch. So before I went to uni, they used to bang bare Disclosure at the time, and I was like, "Raw, this actually kind of slaps," and that ended up making me become a Disclosure fan. But yeah, definitely Disclosure Latch for me. Man was in the River Island street slumming it out, fam. I was doing them shit.
Gosh, I don't know, because they always play the radio at work. I think for me it was New Rules, because that's when I first heard of Dua Lipa, and I was like, yo, this is a great song. Like, it just flows well, and I couldn't escape it, because again, it feels like they play the same 5 songs over and over again. And you know, because I used to have to drive to work, the way I know I like a song that I'd heard on the radio is that I'll be putting it into my car playlist, and after that, you already know, you like it. Once it's saved in your phone, you like that song.
The rest is history.
The rest is
the
history.
radio. The radio's meant to make you like get stuck to that song. So I love that for retail. Well, as a person that's going to shop, not a person that's working in retail now.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Because I'll be driving. What about you?
Me?
Yes,
Okay,
you,
for
man.
me, I've got my whole play from 2019. So Khalid's Sun City featuring Empress R. And then there was Dua Lipa Kiss and Makeup with, I think it was Asian Blackpink. I think they called Blackpink as well. So that's another song. What else is there? It was a Weekend song as well, Cut From My Face. I know they were playing that in 2019, but they love that song. And Let You Love Me by Rita Ora. Rita Ora, we don't understand why she's big. Radio has made Rita Ora big. It's radio for her. Radio's good.
1,000%.
She comes off as a terrible person, but she can make a good song here and there.
Like, she gets that thing of making a catchy song, catchy hook, short verses, get straight to the point. We go. Like that's
a fact. She looked terrifying in that EE ad, though. I won't lie. It was not a good look for her. But I digress.
Making money though,
can't
like,
escape.
getting all those endorsements and stuff.
Get them coins. Get them coins.
Yeah, that's
Have to. Man, what's your choice?
Mine was Cut Me Off by, is it Gotti? I don't know how to say the name. You didn't have to cut me off. That song, that song, bruv.
So cool.
I would hear it, I'll be thinking, yo, this is my song right here. Oh, yeah.
Yo,
that was a banger.
They went back to back. Oh, listen.
Yeah.
Man had one song. I don't even know what he's doing now. Couldn't tell you.
He made that money and skedaddled.
He did. And skedaddled as well, to be fair. That's it.
And the video's nice as well. So
the
it's
video,
like,
it's a very recognizable video, I'll say. Like, when I see that, as soon as I see the painting start happening, I'm like, I know where I go on. What is about to play?
He wrote the song himself. He wrote the song. Okay, there was 2 writers. So I think he probably wrote the song himself and made money for it. Because when you write your own songs, you can make more money from writing. So I think maybe he wrote the song and skedaddled.
That check must have been nice.
Yeah, he wrote the song himself. He wrote it. Yeah, he wrote it himself.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. That song sounds like someone wrote it themselves and was going through something. He was
going through it.
He was going through it. Help. Yo, help my boy. And then the girl comes in.
I thought that was Katy Perry, you know.
Yo, she's another one, you know.
When I grew up, I thought that was Katy Perry. I was like, it took me a few years to realize that was Katy Perry. I was like, okay.
Katy Perry be giving some slaps as well. That song Juicy J, when I first
that song
was inescapable. Dark Horse, that's it. Yes.
is a pop legend. I don't
There
So-
she is. She is.
was
Even and she gets good features. I mean, she tried the rap thing a little bit, but I did like Burn Up a Tea with her and the Migos, and it helped that the Migos gave a fire verse. Why are you laughing in the corner, Colin?
It's catchy. I've got ETS on Kanye West as well. EP is amazing. EP is so good.
I'm laughing because of that that award performance where she was on the stage and she was just like dancing next to the Migos, looking like one fool, fam.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
Oi.
That was a weird era for her. Even like Miley's weird era when she tried to join rap.
You were
And
doing
she was
too
just
much.
doing too
Remember
much.
when she went on stage with a dildo? It was
That
like,
guy-
bro, what are you
too much
doing?
fun.
Yo,
It's
This
like
is quick as
you're
well.
Hannah Montana. That's that Disney curse, man.
That's the thing, man. No, it's just like, what? Oh,
she had that song.
with a dildo on the
She's come
stage.
back now with her new album. I feel like she's now found her sound and she's now
Yeah,
taken it a
yeah.
little bit because that era was it Bangers? I think that era was.
It was a weird one, man. She was up in the. She was on that Jay's on my feet song. What's it?
23.
23. Yes.
Actually, it's catchy, you know.
It was catchy. She gave a good. She
It's
did-
catchy, but it never
she gave a good
lasted.
verse. Yeah, it didn't.
It didn't age
It
well.
was very.
Didn't age well.
It didn't age well.
Because everybody knew, like, what are you doing? White people looked at her funny, black people looked at her funny. They were like, stop what you doing.
I want to discuss music from the UK, which we believe has aged well. Now, the reason I wanted to ask this question is because I was doing a bit of I was doing some work and I was going back in time, and Dave No Words came on. I was like, yo, this still slaps. Like 3-4 years on, it's still a great song. Dave is actually really good for that. I don't think his music will ever have that issue. Look at songs like Tiago Silva, Samantha, which came out a while ago, but I think will age perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Are there any songs that we feel from the UK that came out within the last, let's say, for conversation's sake, 5 years, that we believe have aged well and will go on to age well?
Good for my playlist.
Oh, that's a hard question off the top of my head.
I might go a little bit older in years though. For songs that I feel like
Yeah.
I think that I feel like age well from the Sugar Babes. The Sugar Babes, their songs are definitely age well.
What songs in particular?
I love About You Now, where they in the yellow. I love that song. I love that song's amazing. Like, it's quality right there. What else? I'll say Jamila Superstar as well. Jamelia or Jamila? Jamelia?
Yeah, that's actually, yeah, you can't, and they still use that in adverts, so she must be getting coins.
Yeah, royalties be.
The royalties must be strong with that one.
I love it as well. Take that.
Yeah, them man on fire. Like they'll do their thing.
Yeah,
I think
all
even
the way.
going maybe 5 years was too hard, but things like Talking the Hardest, obviously, will probably
timeless.
still spoken about today. That's the national anthem. You stand up when you hear that. Even things like I wish it got played a lot more, but I think Sneakbo Touch a Button is it gets the credit it deserves, which is strange because I've seen like videos of it like destroying raves. Like literally, it comes on, everyone knows the words, and it was one of those monumental moments.
Yeah, 100%. That he needs his flowers for that.
For real.
You know what song did not age well? Okay, let me say it like this. It aged, but then it's
Like
not
milk.
heard of anymore.
Go on.
Temper Tea next time. That song is not heard of
yeah,
anymore.
That's
an
just
interest-
noise.
that
That's
song-
just noise.
It's noise, but that song that's the reason why it just didn't age well. Because you couldn't play it. If you played
That's
it, someone's
interesting.
getting banged.
You know what? Saying the ones that don't age well. You know, from the NS 10v10 last year, that N-Dubs clash kind of made me realize a lot of their tunes did not age well. Oh.
It's horrible.
Yeah. Do you know what?
God.
And do you know what was so painful about that? It was the mixing. It was like it sounded like it was made on a Sony Ericsson.
They
That
recorded
was
that.
the real issue.
They
I had.
recorded that on a potato. If I'm
That man was it was not good.
Jesus.
It was like, I was like, wow, this is you, man. I was like, I thought N-Dubs was kind of clean house. I was like, I don't see how was it Western they went up against?
Western, yeah.
I was like, I don't see how Western have a chance here.
I love Western, I actually love
I like
Western.
them as
not
well,
bad,
but
man.
I was like against N-Dubs, come on. And
Yeah.
nostalgia I thought was gonna kick in, but nah, it didn't work out.
That was realization more than anything that their music is just outdated, to be honest. Like it's just.
I guess it's very much a music that was made in that time,
At that
and
time.
it's stuck in that time as well.
Channel U and stuff.
Yeah, I think I even look at not Power 2004. I think Power 2004 is still a classic, but Power 2011, I don't think aged well at all.
No,
Mm,
I don't think so either.
I agree.
I
don't
think
so
it's
either.
very much stuck in that
Nah,
time.
it
Man,
didn't.
you still giving Power 2011 spins?
Not spins. Like it's nostalgic, but it's not spins.
Interesting. That's very
I
interesting.
guess yeah, that's just. I think for me, that's another song that's really stuck in the time period that it came out. I'm trying to think of
UK pop in general did age fairly well, you know. I think certain songs from like some of the groups did age decently. Like some of the blue songs are actually not bad. Like they're not actually shit songs, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You can still kind of play them.
What's the most popular blue song?
All Rise, or
Is
what's
it-
the other one?
One for the money in it, two lights, two for the light. All right. Yo, who was it that was talking about 50-50?
Lamar, that was
Lamar.
a banger.
What happened to him? Where is he?
I don't know.
My childhood. Oh my
Bounce.
goodness.
What was his other song?
Is there any justice?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That's a really well written song when you think about it.
You know whose music has aged well, I think?
Well,
I don't know if it's become a bit more your older uncle likes it, but it's still good. Craig David's.
Oh, come on.
To go for a drink.
Timeless B.
Yo,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
I
feel like
met
it's
this girl
aged
on
better than his
Monday.
current Horrible.
What did you say?
I feel like his old music has aged better than his current music. His current music.
Oh yeah. But I think
Yeah.
he's in that sort of. I mean, he's doing songs with KSI now, so you already know what sort of bag he's trying to go for. And no disrespect to KSI.
He's trying to go for the summertime bag. That's what
Yeah,
he's trying to go
100%.
for. Because the thing is, he's only making songs for a certain demographic. I'm not going to say who they are, but
We know who they are.
attendees.
Not Island Watchers. It's not us.
I
You know
people
who you are.
attendees on an annual basis. That's who he's making it for.
Yeah, that's a check that's gonna knock.
And that's where he makes his money most of the time.
Facts. Because even now, you know what? I was like, bro, I was thinking this the other day. Like, Wiley's music. I'm interested to see how songs like Heatwave do. You know, going forward.
I love
that's
the
always
music.
yeah, exactly. I think he's done all right because they're good songs. What's his one where foxes were all in the video?
What foxes, man?
What do we
Rolex.
use?
Yes.
Yeah.
Even Nas aged
Rolex.
quite well. I'm trying to think of other examples from him. That one he did with Stefflon Don. Yes, that's inescapable as well.
The I one as well. I like that one.
Yeah, that one's cold.
So yeah, some of it aged poorly, and some of it is I think will be fine going forward. It's just interesting to see. I guess have this conversation again in a few years and see how we feel.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's a fact.
You know what song will never come back?
What's that?
Actually, I can't. No. Let me
But
say
you have to land
You
now.
started it, man.
No, I can't.
Land the plane, fam. Land the plane.
Expeditiously.
I'll give you guys a hint. He's doing time for something really bad, and let's just leave it.
I already know.
This song
Is it American?
never come back.
Which
Huh?
one is this?
United Kingdom.
Oh, United Kingdom. Who's doing time?
He's in pen. He's a terrible person. I don't even need to give him any light.
You know, if it's bad, let's not give him.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Let's not.
Yeah. He had an amazing song to get a bunch of people hyped up, and that song could be remixed into different. Because it was produced by Predator, and the thing is, Predator can take that song and then make it into a house. You can go into any set and go anywhere around the world and then make that song and it will bang. But because of what the artist did, they're not playing that song anymore.
Nah, no way. He's not getting no spins.
And I know where that song was actually sampled off of Jamie Merkin, yeah? And then he just took that sample and then switched it up and he gave it to him, and that song is actually a madness. But because it is where it is, what it is.
I guess that's also interesting. Like, you can't set after if a certain artist does something, regardless of how good their song is. I guess it's impossible to celebrate them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you know songs that came out recently that like had success that I think are gonna age terribly? That little Dicky song with Chris Brown, I think is gonna go in the trash. I know that's not UK, but I can't see that song having any longevity.
The least said about that song, the better, boy. Although he shouts out to him, he made a really good TV show last year. I will say that much.
Was it good?
Yeah, surprisingly good. I'd definitely recommend it. Surprisingly good, in the vein of Atlanta, but for white people.
I hear that.
But it's actually pretty good, which is surprising. But yeah, that's off topic.
All right. Well, has anyone got anything they want to get off their chest?
I think before we go, we should try to give one song recommendation for the playlist that we put out every week. Because we gotta feed the streets, you know.
Of course.
That has to be done.
I'll get my on repeat playlist and see.
I'll give mine while you lot search. Mine is Masego by Felicia. I've had him on a playlist before, but I'm gonna put him on again. It's just got a mad little jazz solo at the end of the song, which is I just think it's unreal. Yeah, but yeah, that's my pick. That's my pick.
I've got two that I want to squeeze them in. Just squeeze them in. So
go ahead.
One is called Dana. So it's Dana by Techno. I love that. I hate the project overall, but I love the song. I want to big up Kenna Major 9 for Same Space. Both the acoustic and the original version. Like, it's an amazing song that she performed several times this year. I think she performed on the Mobile Awards as well. That was amazing. Was it Mobile? It was Mobile. So, yeah, Kenna Major 9 and Techno.
Okay, well, my choice is collaboration, OFB collaboration, Desi and Heady One, Bop Diddy Bop. I didn't expect to like it because I've come across some of Desi's music. And it ain't always been for me, but I do like OFB and what they've been putting out over the last year or so. So, yeah, I thought I'd give that some shine. Good song. It's got a fun bounce to it, so I think you'll enjoy it. And that's why I picked it.
Okay. Eman?
Got two songs, but you know, one song will make it to the playlist. The first song is Seen It All by Abracadabra, Creps and Cones. He dropped a wonderful project last year, and like we're gonna see a lot more from Abracadabra. We're gonna hear a lot more.
For sure.
Because he's definitely, like, with the energy that he's giving, the vibe, his voice, it's gonna feed the streets. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not just gonna feed the streets, but I mean, if he's allowed to come out on tour, he's gonna make
money,
noise, proper noise and proper peas. So yeah, shout outs to Abracadabra. Another person, shout out to Westside Gun. He's always gonna make a playlist, but then, you know, RIP to MF Doom as well.
Facts.
So this was a song I was listening to. It's Two Stings, Westside Gun, MF Doom, and the amazing thing about MF Doom is that his sound has made it back to 2020. Like his boom bap, lo-fi, crazy sample, hitting records has made it back into the sound of hip hop. So the fact that he's now gone, you know, he died in October 31st, but the family announced it in December 31st. So
oh wow, they managed to keep it a secret that long.
That privacy, it's really just
it's really rare.
Wow, well done to them then. Yeah, no, I respect that. But yeah, no, Doom's a legend. I mean, not that I've gone and deep dived into his artistry, but I think when you know someone's a legend in the culture, you have to tip your hat off to them.
That's a fact.
And I think, that was the case. Everyone was shocked when the news came out, and that's a massive person in hip hop. And again, yes, you're right. His sound has come back in a massive way, and people are doing it. And you know, sometimes you have to listen. You need to get them bars off, and that's what he did. He never compromised, didn't bend, didn't fold. So I respect that. And yeah, RIP to MF Doom for sure.
Okay.
All right. Manny, tell the people where they can find you. And before you do that, just again, thank you for coming on. You made for such a great guest.
Thank you.
But yeah, tell the people where they can find you online.
First of all, thank you for having me. It's good to see 3 black men killing it right now. So big shout out to you.
Appreciate
But
you,
you can
man.
find me, The Classic Manny, everywhere on Twitter, Instagram, the podcast, The Classic Manny Show, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and then SoundCloud. I almost forgot. So thanks for having me once again. I'm grateful.
We appreciate you, man. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it,
bro.
man. Appreciate it.